Welcome on another adventure in the high desert of Arizona. Today I'm going to hike to the top of a butte where I found a fort on Google Earth. Okay, I'll catch you when I find something. Oh yeah, there's pottery everywhere here. I just didn't have my eyes adjusted. That's brown on the inside and the outside. At this point, I'm walking along a terrace that runs adjacent to the eastern wall, and I was marveling at the height of the walls. As you can see right ahead, there are some holes in the walls, and then as I move forward, you can see that those holes go all the way from the outside or the inside to the outside. It's very, very impressive. Obviously, they were put there so you could see down onto the terrace that I was walking along. And there is a view from the outside looking up towards the inside of the ruin. When I got to the northeastern corner of this ruin, I was able to find a spot that I was easily able to climb up into the ruin without crossing any of the walls. I was just walking on the original bedrock. As I entered this ruin, I was amazed at the panoramic view, 360 degrees. Woohoo! This is the top of the world. Wow. As I take my initial pass around this ruin on the inside, I was really amazed at how many openings there were that were looking down upon the terrace below. It was really surprising how many there were, and a lot of them probably had already fallen in. This was a beautiful ruin. The top was nice and flat. That butte that you can see in the distance in this view, I've been to, and there's actually a huge ruin on top of it. And it's amazing that you can see directly across. It's about 35 miles between these two ruins. There is a collector's pile right there. It had some very, very nice pottery sherds in it. But I try not to add to these collector's piles. I'm gonna have to put the drone up here in a minute so we can see an aerial of this. So this was definitely a building over here. At this point, I'm traversing along the western wall heading towards the north, and there's a series of rooms that share the outside wall. They're all square in shape or rectangular in shape, and they all have reasonably high walls that are left standing. And then slightly beyond those rooms, there is this opening in the walls that have nice straight square corners, and there's a chute that runs down onto the terrace below. That chute looks like it's steep enough that it required some ladders to get up. So this was obviously the original entrance, and they would just climb into this and then pull the ladder up, and then they were perfectly safe. It was pretty amazing to see this entrance still intact. This is definitely a defensive place. Now, So this view is from the south, sort of looking north. You can see down there's two of us. My son came on this adventure with me. That was very nice. So a lot of people will ask me why I think that these are defensive structures. And as you can see, this butte comes up out of the top of this mountain. And those the rocks, those volcanic rocks, are at least 8 to 12 feet high in most places. And then the people that decided to build up there decided they needed to build another 4 to 8 foot tall walls around the top of this. So I sort of racked my brain and tried to figure out why they would want to do this if they weren't defensive in some manner. But people continue to ask me that, so these are the things that I ponder upon when I'm at the top of these mountains. As you view this next video clip of the drone footage, see if you can see all of the holes that look down from the top down upon that flat section below the ruin. There were quite a few of them around there. The interesting part was some of them were completely stone, and some of them actually had wood built into the sides and the top. I'm not sure what the difference was between those wooden lined holes and the rock lined holes, but either way, they were pretty amazing. And in this view, you can actually see they even had started a wall, or actually had a wall all around the top of that boulder. And that was interesting too. There must have been some sort of board or something, or log that they might have been able to put across there, and someone might have been able to go out there and stand on top of that while still being protected. There's a window right there. Looking down here, I feel like I'm being watched. Well, it's quite a structure. For those of you who are quick, in the last clip, you could have seen some black on white pottery. And that black on white pottery came around this area around 900 years ago. So this area must be at least 900 years old. And here you can see an obsidian arrowhead. It's just the lower half of the arrowhead, but this is a tiny arrowhead. But after reviewing the pictures, it has definitely worked all the way around. So it was certainly an arrowhead or a tool of some sort. I'm calling it an arrowhead. I looked pretty hard for petroglyphs, and I really only found one petroglyph, but I couldn't really tell what it was a petroglyph of. So maybe if you can see and tell what this petroglyph is, maybe you can leave it in the comments, because to me it looked like a goldfish, but I'm sure the goldfish weren't around at that point in time. So now this is a Google Earth image, and this is actually how I found this ruin. So here I'm actually measuring from the north to the south at its longest point, and this actually measured 125 feet long. Then I'm going to measure from the west to the east, and that measured just a hair under 70 feet, about 69.5 feet. And that is from west to east. So this was a pretty good sized ruin. And next I will show you the layout of the ruin. So here you're going to see some drone footage, and this is looking from the south to the north in that direction, just like the Google Earth image. And here you're going to see highlighted in yellow the outside wall, along with 4 rooms that I think existed, and then one small ruin around that boulder on the east side, and also the entrance to this ruin on the northwest corner, more on the west side. I'd like to thank you for joining my adventure this week, and please join me again next week. Goodbye.